Defending champion Fabrizio Giovanardi has led the way ever since the first meeting right here at Brands Hatch back in March. But as we've seen so far this year, anything can happen. So will he manage to hold on to his lead and this trophy, or will Jason Plato score an improbable victory in this Seat Championship swan song?
Giovanardi, championship lead up to his big rival, Jason Plato. And they've done it. The British Touring Car Championship.
Fear is the mind killer.
Here comes the Italian, here comes Fabrizio Giovanardi. What a beautiful manoeuvre. It's Fabrizio Giovanardi who wins for Vauxhall. Of course, Plato. Could this be the championship edging ever further away?
Sometimes the luck's with you, sometimes it's not.
Contact.
It's a dirty way to fight.
Giovanardi got out of shape. Giovanardi's got off, he's got a puncture.
It's still a very long shot.
Jason Plato wins. He needs Gio to have a non-finish, really.
Fear is the mind.
We've got to keep our fingers crossed that my Italian friend has a bad day.
This could be crucial. Giovanardi's got in front. How did he do that? Plato now's got his work cut out with his big rival right ahead.
It's going to be a great fight to the end.
I expect Jason Plato performance.
Hopefully I'll be the one lifting the trophy.
Fear is the mind killer.
It's BTCC Finals Day, so welcome to Brands Hatch in Kent for rounds 28, 29 and 30 of the 2008 HiQ MSA British Touring Car Championship. An assortment of championships up for grabs today, so this is where we stand ahead of the racing.
Fabrizio Giovanardi enjoys a 44-point lead over Jason Plato. With only 52 points available this afternoon, it really is his to lose. The battle for third is considerably closer with the independent drivers, Colin Turkington and Matt Jackson, separated by only 3 points.
And those two are fighting it out for the independent title, with Colin enjoying a 22-point advantage over Matt, and Adam Jones still mathematically in contention, but a further 18 points behind.
In the Manufacturers' Championship, VX Racing have an unassailable lead and will be crowned champions this afternoon.
It's the same situation in the team standings, with the departing Seat UK having to settle for second, but the race is still on for third place between Halfords and Team RAC.
And finally, in the independent team standing, the race is still on, with Team RAC leading the BMW Dealer Team UK by only 29 points ahead of today's 3 final rounds.
We've extended our race day coverage to bring you all 3 touring car races as they happen. We're live for the next 6 hours here at Brands Hatch, with the first touring car race coming up in 10 minutes' time, but we'll also have the climax to a further 5 championship series. It promises to be an exciting afternoon.
Our top story this weekend is the surprise withdrawal of the Seat Sport UK team from the British Touring Car Championship and the demise of the Seat Cupra Championship at the end of the season. Now, the Seats have been the fastest touring car since the middle of the summer, and things were looking great for 2009. So the news has come as quite a shock to the whole paddock. Ted has been talking to all the key players.
Well, Scott, first of all, tell us what happened. Why are Seat pulling out of motorsport?
We've had 5 fantastic years in the British Touring Car Championship, and during that time the Seat brand has evolved immensely, and the British Touring Car Championship has helped us enhance the brand values. But the brand is continuing to evolve, and we've got a number of new products launching next year, and we need to focus our energies in different areas as far as our marketing is concerned.
Obviously we're very disappointed to see them go. I mean, they've been great competitors in the championship for 5 years, and they've brought a lot to the championship, so very sad to see them go, but of course nothing's forever.
We chose to make the announcement before Brands Hatch, both from a business and commercial point of view, to try and steal some of Vauxhall's thunder, but also from a moral point of view, it gives the guys the opportunity within the team to get out on the job market before the season finishes.
Well, how do you think Seat's pulling out is actually going to affect the racing and what people see on the TV?
It really won't affect it at all, apart from the fact there won't be 2 diesel Seats in the field. I mean, you've got to remember, from the second half of this year, in basic terms, they pretty well cleared off from the front. So, you know, the racing was fabulous behind them. Take those 2 cars out of it, the racing's still going to be fabulous.
What are you going to do next year?
I don't know at the moment. Well, you know, it's important for me to be in racing. I love it. I certainly don't want to hang up my helmet just yet. And, you know, and I want to stay in the BTCC. It's a championship which has changed my life, and I'm very passionate about what happens here.
We had a call saying, can you come along to Milton Keynes for a meeting? And I was all like, yeah, great, we're going to be talking about 2009, 2010, and you know, obviously me and Jason spoke prior to that on the phone, and he was a bit more apprehensive. And I said, no, it doesn't seem bad, it's probably going to be a good meeting. We get in, and within a couple of minutes we obviously know what the big picture is. So that was on the Thursday, and then in the afternoon it was announced to everyone else. So it was a big shock.
If there's manufacturers out there, and we believe there are at the moment, which are looking to come and play, then, you know, I think they should look at what Seat have achieved over the last 6 years, and it's turned their brand around. So just because they're leaving, it doesn't mean to say that the championship's, you know, on its knees. Far from it.
For us drivers, we can go out and look for other jobs, the same as everyone else in the team. But you do feel for the guys who've worked so hard within North and South for a couple of years now, trying to get the most out of the cars. And now, as we were on a bit of a crest of a wave, we're just not able to sort of finish off what we started.
And who are we looking at in terms of possible new entrants coming in next year to replace them and challenge Vauxhall?
Oh, Ted, I can't tell you that, but you know, you've got 6 months ahead of you to speculate for that one.
Well, there's plenty of rumours in the paddock about who might be replacing Seat as a manufacturer, and we'll have more of that later on in the show. Back to the championship battle, and there's just a few moments to go until the first race of the day, when Fabrizio could well be wrapping up that title. Now, his preparation for today has been quite interesting. He's travelled halfway around the world to compete in the Australian V8 Supercar Series.
Here we go. It's endurance time.
I'm ready to make the long distance race for Triple Eight. It's a new experience, it's a new challenge. I can have two things in the same time. Go to visit Australia and have a good fun with the V8. My teammate, he will be my co-driver, my pilot, my my mentor. The only biggest problem is the translation between me and him.
We're underway at Phillip Island. Simply amazing. What a day. This world-class circuit has seen it all.
I spent 15 days in there. It's not so easy as I expect. It was a good experience, good fun. More or less, it was a holiday. Welcome to my house. Hello. I'm in Italy for a few days. I have just the time to remake the bags, to change the clothes. And now let me show my house. This is my bedroom, bathroom, the unfinished bathroom. Unfortunately, I didn't spend a lot of time because I have to race, so you can see work in progress. Before to go to Australia, my target was try to make the best before to get the last race, because you know you have to go. Australia is a long journey. You can be tired when you come back. With a gap to play, it can be more relaxed. This is my son. Luca, apri. Papi. Hey, voila, my study. This is the place I spent time to book the fly, to just try to organize my life. When I was with Mohair. And here, the BTCC winner, the Vauxhall. The first championship, the second one has to come. It's another title, it's very important for me, for the Vauxhall, for everyone that working very hard around me. In the end of the day, I'm just looking for another challenge. This is the place to live for me, is my opinion. Confusion, my car, the next job. This is my project for the winter. I love to build, I love to project models, and then I love to craft the models. You have to understand when it's time to try to win and when it's time to try just to bring point back, is what I've done. I've finished all the races. Let's go! Go to the kitchen. Are you looking forward for this? Ravioli di zucca. And here the champagne for the victory. Cross finger. Vogliamo da mangiare, vogliamo da mangiare. This is Jason. I'm joking. He's a nice guy. I love Jason. I love Jason means is guys that keep yourself very under pressure, and to be under pressure is for me is the best. The swimming pool. He has to try to win all the 3 races, and have to be really unlucky. He has not a lot of chance, But he will try to do that. I think he don't want to just make my life so easy. I think I will do it because I want it.
Well, despite all the energy from that pasta, Fabrizio could only manage 11th on the grid for the first race of the day here at Brands. Right in front of him, and 10th is Jason Plato, so that should be very interesting going down to the first corner. Leading the pack into the first corner is Stephen Jelley in the BMW, and he got his first ever British touring car pole position yesterday, having switched over from single-seaters at the beginning of the year. And Janie caught a word with him after qualifying.
Well, Stephen, you've saved the best till last, and the funny thing is your team didn't even believe you did it.
No, they didn't. No, I came in and they all thought there was a problem with the timing screen. So they all, it was all like, nobody looked happy, and I thought, just done the best lap I've ever done, and no one's happy. But yeah, mega.
Okay, well, as you can see, everybody is ready. That's a great atmosphere down on this grid, and we're live here on ITV4. So join us in a couple of minutes when we will be live for the race that could decide the championship. Round 28 is next. We're all ready to go for the first race of the day here at Brands Hatch. 44 points the difference. That means that if Jason Plato is 5th or lower in this race, Fabrizio Giovanardi is the British Touring Car Champion. Time to join our commentators, Tim Harvey, and first, Ben Edwards.
Thank you very much, Ted. The cars are indeed heading around the circuit on the first of their 2 warm-up laps. There's the onboard shot with Fabrizio Giovanardi, the man who could wrap up the title, as you say, in this first race of the day. What an absolutely glorious day we have here at Brands Hatch. It is stunning, and the stage is set for the final battle between these two. Jason Plato for SEAT versus Fabrizio Giovanardi for Vauxhall. I say the final battle because we know that it's certainly SEAT won't be a part of the party after the end of this year. Let's take a look at how they line up on the grid then. Stephen Jelley has taken his first ever pole position. It's the first for the team this year. Matt Jackson alongside him, though. He's a fast starter in the white BMW. Watch out for him. Turner and Matt Neal are on the second row. So Darren Turner, the fastest of the diesel-powered cars. Matt Neal is alongside him. Then behind them, we've got Gordon Shedden and Colin Turkington. Turkington, remember, leading in the independence points, but battling with Matt Jackson, who starts up front. Rob Collard, his best qualifying performance of the year, in 7th, ahead of Adam Jones. Behind them, we've got Stephen Kane. Then it's Jason Plato starting 10th. And right behind him, of course, is Giovanardi in 11th, with his teammate Onslow Cole alongside. Then it's Tom Chilton and Andrew Jordan on row 7 of the grid. Row 8 sees Jason Hughes and Michael Doyle. On row number 9 behind them, we've got John George and Martin Bell. Then it's Alan Taylor and Mike Jordan, who had a broken part in the gearbox, so he didn't put in a time. Chris Stockton and Harry Volkard both failed to put in times in qualifying. And Erkut is at the back of the grid, and they've had to quickly go and get his sport hatch back. He was due to run in Ivan Muller's old championship-winning Astra Coupe, but unfortunately the engine blew in practice yesterday, and he's not been able to use that car. You're looking on board from Fabrizio Giovanardi at the moment as he gets ready to line up in 11th place. Tim, as I say, the stage is set. It's an absolutely perfect day for this championship decider.
Well, they say it's hard enough to win one championship, but it's even harder to win 2 on the trot. And if anything, for me, Giovanardi has driven better this year than even he did last year. And I'm sure as he sits there, needing only 9 points, he is full of confidence.
That's right. Plato needs Plato to finish 4th or lower in this for Giovanardi to take the title. Even if Plato were to win from where he is way back on the grid there, 10th place on the grid, then 4th place for Giovanardi would be enough. So it's looking good for the Italian, and we're all set for this first race of the day, round 28 of the British Touring Car Championship. Lights out, away we go, and Stephen Jelley makes a great start from pole position. Matt Neal trying to squeeze down on Shedden and had to back out of it. Thankfully they didn't make contact. Matt Neal very slow away in the first of the Vauxhalls on the grid. The Giovanardi getting away. Jason Plato going around the outside of Paddock Bend. He's trying to go around Adam Jones. Hasn't quite finished it yet, but he's going to try and finish it as they come up the hill to the hairpin, but Jones is on his inside. Giovanardi's just tucked in behind that little group. Up front, Stephen Jelley leads. Matt Jackson pushing him down the hill into Graham Hill Bend. But Jason Plato is trying to pick his way through here and trying to find a way past cars without any damage being incurred. Behind him, in fact, it is Tom Onslow-Cole and then Giovanardi, and then, no, it's Matt Neal, isn't it, back down there. And Giovanardi behind Adam Jones at the moment, a little bit of a lock-up. You can see Plato 2 cars ahead of Giovanardi at this stage, Tim.
Well, Plato's got one thing on his mind, and that is a charge to the front. But this is very much a BMW circuit. There's 2 across the line at the front. There were 5 in the top 10 of qualifying.
Matt Jackson's taken the lead. Matt Jackson takes it from Stephen Jelly. BMW's 1 and 2, but it's Matt Jackson in front, Jelly in second, Turner in third, Giovanardi in the gravel. Giovanardi's in the gravel at Paddock Hill Bend. He's got it back on. My goodness. He's scored points at every race this year, and suddenly he's off in the gravel. Jason Hughes and John George have made contact as well.
Well, that'll be a safety car for sure, but Giovanardi needs to regroup. He was trying to pass Adam Jones, and of course, he's finished every single race so far this year.
Chris Stockton got punted, and he was just behind Giovanardi at that point. Turner's come up. Stephen Jelly's lost 1. He's lost 2 places. Are we going to see the safety car? Yes, we are. And they're racing back to the line. They race to the line before they get picked up by the safety car, and it looks as though it's going to be Matt Jackson who leads as they cross the line from Turner in second, Gordon Shedden now third, Stephen Jelly fourth, Rob Collard in fifth, then Turkington in sixth ahead of Stephen Kane. Now Jason Plato is in 8th place. Where is Giovanardi? He's all the way down in 14th position.
Well, that was potentially the disaster that could have ended Giovanardi's chances if he gets taken out in an accident that means he takes no further part in the meeting, and that's not impossible. Last year, the multiple accident triggered by Matt Jackson, the current leader of this race, Matt Neal, and took no further part in the race after that. So it could have been, but Giovanardi keeps his miraculous record going of still managing to get out of trouble. He's still on the track.
Let's take a look at some of the replays here, Tim. This is the change of the lead as Stephen Jackson there. Matt Jackson just up behind Stephen Jelly.
Yeah, that's going through clearways. That's going through clearways. And clearly at this stage, Matt Jackson's got his tyres up to temperature a lot quicker because he manages to pull out of clearways on the inside. And this was Giovanardi going off. Oh, he gets a slide. Well, we didn't see perhaps the start of it, but he and Adam Jones both running wide.
Yeah, and there was Tom Chilton behind him. Did he get a tap from Tom Chilton? Yeah, it looks like somebody tapped him, didn't they?
Yeah, I think it may have been he was up the inside of Adam Jones, and Adam Jones was closing the door on him. And that's what led to the spin. Maybe they both did ever so well to keep going. I'm not even, even Adam Jones keeps going as well.
But in the background, John George and Jason Hughes tangled in the avoidance. So we had various cars all over the place. Now, as it stands at the moment, if they were to finish where they are right now, Giovanardi would have 261 points, Jason Plato would have 220, and that would be enough for Giovanardi to still take the title, because Plato's still got to get further up the order here in order to be able to try and keep this championship going into race 2 and race 3 at Brands Hatch. Ready for the restart, the safety car's coming in, so we're all set now for the race to get underway, and it's Matt Jackson, absolutely breathtaking once again from the youngster. Matt Jackson leading, Turner in second, Gordon Shedden in the Team Alfred's car third, Stephen Jelly fourth, and then coming through is Rob Collard, Turkington down there. Now watch for Giovanardi. He's got to do something over the next few laps. He's okay at the moment, but he can't, of course, depend on that, because presumably Plato's going to pick up some more places here.
Yeah, I'm sure Plato will. I mean, Matt Jackson is absolutely flying, and don't forget, he is very keen on trying to win this independence title. He's just slightly behind Turkington, so he's going about it in the best possible way.
Problems for Jelly on that back straight. He slowed right down, and several cars all going past him. I don't know what happened to him there, but Stephen Jelly really slowing down, and the pole sitter in trouble.
Oh, what a great shape. He wanted to end his season on a real high, and his pole position was quite fantastic. So what a shame for Stephen Jelly.
On board with Jason Plato. Now he's sitting in behind Stephen Kane at the moment, and this is the battle for 7th place. He's not that close to the BMW as they come across the line, so a little bit more pace to find here. Meanwhile, Giovanardi still down in 13th place, and with Adam Jones breathing down his neck as well, so that's interesting. But Plato not closing as quickly as I thought he might here.
Well, there are no big long straights here. There's nowhere really where the Seat Diesel can use its extra horsepower, and the agility of some of the other cars through the tighter, slower corners is helping them achieve better lap times. And a good shout out here for the 2 Motorbase cars. It's the local track for the Motorbase team, only a mile down the road, and Collard in 4th and Kane in 6th, doing a great job.
Indeed, so Jason Plato actually has got to watch out from Matt Neal right behind him, and another Vauxhall, of course. And we all know that Matt Neal and Jason Plato have had their incidents over the years, but Plato now is much closer to the back of Stephen Kane's car. He's tucked in behind the BMW. Look how close he is. You can see it as he tucks in there up towards Paddock Hill Bend. 130 miles an hour on the approach here, on the brakes, into that daunting right-hander, down the dip, bottoming out there. But again, the BMW very quick through Paddock Hill Bend, and Plato wasn't able to try and get alongside him on the approach to the hairpin.
No, don't forget Plato is also carrying second maximum ballast, 36 kilos. So he's doing a good job here. He is being handicapped by that weight ballast.
Now, further back, let me tell you that Giovanardi's just lost another place. Look at Plato. He as Stephen
Kane and Turkington side by side, and I think Kane's got through.
Yeah, he has. He's got past. So he's got past the Team RAC BMW. And here comes Plato. Plato on the grass, and in the background, Chilton getting very out of shape. Contact, I don't know if there was with the Vauxhall, perhaps Montreux Cole. Meanwhile, Giovanardi is down in 14th place now. So Giovanardi really struggling in this race. It could be the first race this year that he's not in the points. Here comes Plato now, trying to get past Colin Turkington, a winner here earlier this season. Turkington, but Plato a bit slow through Paddock.
Well, Plato taking the tight line, the Seat very good over the curbs, and Jason Plato using the inside curve, which is quite an aggressive one at Paddock, to try and shorten the line here. But it's got this real end-of-term feel about it, this first race of the last meeting, with everybody going for broke.
It is great stuff, isn't it? And in the background, I've just seen Jones get past Michael Doyle, who's been running well. Doyle is now the one ahead of Fabrizio Giovanardi, by the way, but Giovanardi's still way outside the point. Plato needs to pick off a few more here, though. He's got to try and get in the top 4 to have any chance of keeping this championship alive as he comes through out of clearways this time. Try and close that gap on Colin Turkington ahead, and he's still got the Vauxhall of Matt Neal behind him.
Yeah, time's very similar at the front. Matt Jackson just a fraction slower than Darren Turner, but not a great deal. But the fastest lap of the race goes on that lap to Stephen Kane, the 5th place BMW.
That's impressive stuff. Stephen Kane, the Northern Irishman, in his first season of touring cars, of course. They've had a couple of good results recently, the local motor-based team, and he's running very strongly in this race, no doubt about it, in 5th place. But Giovanardi all the way down in 14th place and unable to make any progress. That's a huge surprise. He's always in the mix, but he's always been able to move forwards. Maybe there was damage done. I'm sure that front splitter, the area around the lower front bumper, is not good. Patricia there on the middle of the shot, his wife Patricia keeping an eye on what's going on here, but I think Giovanardi's struggling a bit in this one, Tim.
Yeah, there was contact on the right rear. It may have actually bent one of the rear toe arms to make you can see that the wheel arch is off on as well on the left rear, so he certainly had some damage on there. It clearly isn't landing. He's quick into Paddock. He's followed Michael Doyle, but Michael Doyle gets a good run out, and Giovanardi can't challenge on the braking into Druids.
So just to remind you, it's still Matt Jackson leading this race. Darren Turner in the Seat is 2nd. Gordon Shedden is 3rd under pressure from Rob Collard, and then Stephen Kane. So we've got the 2 motor-based cars up there in the top 5, which is very, very impressive, as Michael Doyle ahead of Giovanardi runs over the curb on the exit. Giovanardi will be a little wary of that. Michael Doyle, a real young superstar in a way. He's run this family-run team. He's going to be passed, though, by Giovanardi, and he does a good job there, does Michael Doyle. He was going to fight, but he wasn't going to do anything silly.
No, this is what Giovanardi's going to do now. He knows he's had a problem. He's just going to gradually try and pick up some places, maybe take advantage of a couple of incidents in front to get some points. That's the way Giovanardi races, and he'll be the coolest man here. His team, Vauxhall VX Racing, they'll be very stressed out, but I bet you one thing, inside that car, Gio is cool as anything.
Yeah, he is so laid back about it all, but there's the nervousness in the camp. They wanted to get this one sorted in this race. It could still happen because Plato's not made quite enough progress. Just a quick note from the pits that Stephen Jelly's problem was it got stuck in gear, stuck in 5th gear, and that's why he couldn't go any further.
Poor Stephen. I hope we see more of him in this championship because he's just getting to grips with it, and I really hope we see some more of him.
So race leader, the white BMW of Matt Jackson. In 2nd place, the Seat of Darren Turner. Look at this battle for 3rd now as Rob Collard goes on the attack, and he's down the inside of Gordon Shedden. and he's through. Good move there from Rob Collard. I tell you what, Stephen Kane's not far behind him. Shedden's trying to come back up the inside. Here's this good stuff from the Scot as well, and Stephen Kane right behind. Look at the sandwich as they come around the hairpin. Wonderful racing, but now Collard's got the inner line, and Kane's going to try and follow. No, he can't do it. So Collard does move up into third, fourth now for Shedden, and fifth for Stephen Kane.
Well, a great battle there, and a real peach of an overtake from Collard there. It's not easy to pass up the inside into paddock because it's a blind approach and the car goes light on the inside. We just managed to get it done.
Yeah, he's a bit wide turning into clearways, but actually he seemed to get away with it, and it's now Shedden under attack once again from Stephen Kane, and Kane now trying to line him up for Paddock Hill Bend, but I doubt if Gordon's going to see it happen twice. Is he going to leave the door open? No, he doesn't.
Well, in fairness, I mean, Shedden didn't defend the inside, and it looked like Kane had a good run onto that straight, and didn't quite pull the move that. He's going, looking up the inside. There's a little bit of push. That will probably get the job done. Very nice indeed. These two motor-based cars, well, have they found this performance? Dave Bartram must be leaping up and down with excitement because he loves to race, and he loves to race well at nowhere else than Brands Hatch. A fantastic performance.
And good stuff from Rob Collard. This is a potential podium finish for him with his teammate right behind him. And Rob Collard, a winner here at Brands Hatch in the past in an MG. But let's see what he can do in the BMW. Now, Plato under attack here. This is for his 7th place from Matt Neal. And, of course, Vauxhall will try and put that Seat back a place because it all helps Giovanardi. So Matt Neal here is going to go for it. You can bet on it.
Yeah, and I don't need to remind you, there's no love lost, particularly between Jason Plato and Matt Neal from many previous skirmishes. So Matt Neal with nothing to lose. Matt Neal and Giovanardi come back, as you saw in the introduction, from Australia, racing the big V8 supercars down at Phillip Island. And Matt actually admitted to me yesterday finding it quite hard to readapt to the 2-litre class of racing. The car's so different.
Yeah, it must be quite hard, and all the travelling as well, and time difference, but that's what they take on. We're on lap 14 out of 26 at the moment. The lap distance increased slightly by the safety car being out.
Well, interesting little aside, on the travelling to Australia, Giovanardi travelled in business class and Matt Neal travelled in cattle class, so that says something about the pecking order, doesn't it?
I don't know how he folded himself up into economy class, but never mind. This is the battle we're watching at the moment between Shedden and Turkington for 5th place, and and it's side-by-side stuff. Turkington has now got up the inside, and Shedden just seems to be going backwards here. What's happening here for Gordon Shedden?
Well, it seems like the BMWs are able to hold their tyres together a little bit longer. It is very hot, don't forget, so the front-wheel drive cars may be suffering with their tyres a little bit more. Certainly a BMW circuit. Anyway, we've seen that all the way through, but yeah, that was a mistake by Shedden. We thought Chilton would be up there. He was ever so quick in the free practices, and then in qualifying he had one of the shock absorbers explode and he couldn't do a good time, but we thought if he can get up there, he could be one of the front-wheel drive cars to challenge the BMWs.
Now, these two guys are teammates. You've got Rob Collard running 3rd here, and then Stephen Kane right behind him. Now, how hard is Kane going to try to get past him, or will they be under some team orders here?
Well, Dave Bartram said if they take each other off, he'll sit on them, and that's a threat that no one would want to see carried out. So they're very close. Stephen got past Shedden at that corner with a little run, but he's looking down the inside now.
And meanwhile, Jason Plato is trying to get past. And Collard's gone wide, and Kane is through on the back straight. Yeah. Collard ran wide out of Graham Hill Bend.
Well, we saw the start of that, and Kane was just looking down, and whether he put enough pressure on the Collard to get through, I don't know, but they're very close behind Darren Turner in front, so Kane wants to keep his progress going.
Yeah, absolutely on board with Jason Plato meanwhile, and he's got a chance of getting past Gordon Shedden, who seems to be struggling with the Team Halfords Honda. It's not working as it was in the early stages of this race, and Plato now really getting close. He's going to attack surely as we come up towards Paddock Hill Bend. Has a little think about going for the inside, decides against it. Matt Neal and Tom Chilton still right behind him, and then it's Onslow Cole. He's running in 10th place, but the attack is still on. Plato having a little think about it. In the background, Onslow Cole thinking about getting past Tom Chilton. And this is great stuff, but at the moment it's still Giovanardi looking to win this title. Unless Plato moves a bit further up, he won't have enough points to keep the championship alive. He's got to get past Shedden, and then ideally get past another couple as well. He really needs to get into 4th place here, Plato. At the moment he's down in 7th.
I tell you what, Plato's giving it everything. That car is struggling on its tyres. He's got second biggest success ballast, and he's still lapping really well. And Darren Turner in the sister set with no weight is in second place, but he's no quicker at all. And Plato's up the inside as we come across the start-finish line.
Yeah, this is an opportunity. He's through, and it's a fairly straightforward one in the end there for Jason Plato. He takes the place from Gordon Shedden, so he's into 6th place, and Shedden now under attack from Matt Neal as well. Matt Neal follows through, and there's Tom Chilton, his teammate, and Tom's not taking any prisoners, squeezes right past Shedden at the same time.
Yeah, well, we said Tom was going to be quick, and Shedden clearly got a pace problem here. This is on board with Plato alongside. The door is wide open. Plato's got enough speed down the straight to get the job done nice and early without any panic late braking.
So up front, meanwhile, Matt Jackson is still leading this race, but the battle for second is really hotting up now. The battle for second, watch it, Darren Turner under threat from Stephen Kane in the BMW, then Rob Collard, and chasing him is Colin Turkington, as Turkington's car really seems to be working now in the latter stages of this race. So Darren Turner finds his mirrors somewhat filled with that BMW of Stephen Kane. Well, how big a risk? Oh, there's contact, and Kane's alongside, he's going to take it, he's into second.
Well, that's Kane's perfect place, isn't it? There's on board inside with the Motorbase crew, Patrick de Groot, the engineer there. He's only 4 foot nothing, but he's jumping up and down like a 6 foot.
But it might change more, because look at this, Rob Collard in the background there. He might be able to get past Darren Turner, and then Colin Turkington as well. And Turkington, remember, wants to try and get past these other BMWs because they're scoring points in the Independence Championship, and Matt Jackson's leading this race and looking for maximum points in that, as well as maybe taking Turkington's 3rd place in the overall championship. So lots of changes potential here, and we're on board with Colin Turkington as he attacks coming into Paddock Hill Bend, but at the moment Rob Collard just managing to keep him behind. Identical cars basically these, of course, heading up the hill into Druids, and Collard just keeping the middle of the road, and there's no space for Turkington.
Yeah, good defensive line that, just enough to cover the inside and force Turkington to potentially put 2 wheels on the grass should he try and go up the inside, but not enough to compromise his speed into the corner.
BMWs are 1, 2, 4 and 5 in this race. This track really does seem to be suiting them. The only car that's up there and stopping them dominating is the Seat Diesel of Darren Turner. Oh, a little bit wide there from Collard. That's going to give Turkington an opportunity as they come on the straight here.
Yeah, it looks like Rob Collard's got a little bit of an understeer problem. Can't get the car in tight, but this is Neal and Plato. Neal's still behind. He's got past Shedden as well and back on the rear of Plato.
But Plato's in 6th, and 6th is not enough. Fastest lap in this race still belongs to Stephen Kane, so that's where the extra point is going. Plato's not going to get it where it could have been crucial. They're not going to get fastest laps now with just a few laps in this race remaining, and Plato still defending busily from Matt Neal right behind. Remember, it's Matt Jackson still leading this race by some 3.3 seconds. Very, very impressive. On board with Plato, though, as Matt Neal breathes all over the rear bumper of that Seat Diesel. Remember, Jason took a diesel-powered first ever podium here at Brands Hatch earlier in the year. Oh, and he's good into clearways. Matt Neal always very dangerous into clearways. He has a tremendously good line, tight line in, but nothing he can quite do with it at the moment.
No, but into clearways or Druids is going to be where Matt can attack. He certainly won't be able to attack into Paddock at the moment, and he's just looking for an opportunity. Look at him on the brakes there, really close up. Look, the car twitching around. Matt Neal getting a bit of oversteer. All the cars over that rumble strip on the exit and perilously close to the gravel trap.
Giovanardi still in 14th place. He's still not been able to move up. In fact, he's been passed by Mike Jordan recently, who started at the back of the grid. Andrew Jordan's running in 10th place. Mike Jordan is now in 13th from the back of the grid. And there's the view in the Vauxhall camp, because they know he can still do it here, because Jason Plato has not made up as much ground as he needs to in order to keep this championship alive. So at the moment, it's still looking good for Giovanardi to take back-to-back titles. There we are on board. He's lost that place to Mike Jordan recently, but Mike running in 13th position behind Giovanardi. It's then Michael Doyle, but he's just a little bit behind. Well, not far behind. He's only a couple of car lengths behind. So he's still got to keep an eye on what's going on.
Yeah, the team obviously will be on the radio to Giovanardi, just keeping him advised of Plato's progress. And he's clearly got a hobbled car. Is that Turner's drop back? Turner's got a problem. Now that looks, I don't know what happened, it looks suspiciously like the engine problem they had before.
Oh, contact between McNeil and Darren Turner down the hill. They just about get away with it. I thought that was going to end in tears. But as you say, Darren Turner, although now the car's working again.
Yeah, that was a team tactic. He was clearly just dropping back to let Plato through for extra points and then having to fight back.
Okay, and that nearly did end in tears. Yeah, that's right. But Turner's got himself back in front of McNeil. And what does that mean about Jason Plato? Well, it means he's now in 5th place, so he's behind all the BMWs that are leading this race. Scott Dennis keeping an eye on what's going on. Can their tactics help him? Maybe. There it was, Turner backing off.
Yeah, he's backing off, waiting for Plato, and trying to desperately get back inside there and stop Neil getting through. It worked out quite well, because Neil then had to go around the outside, which is the longer, harder route.
So that puts Plato into 5th place now. That's 6 points on offer. Now, that's not going to be enough unless maybe somebody else goes off ahead of him or something else happens in this race. So certainly SEAT doing everything they can to try and keep this going, but they need a little bit of luck to go their way as well, because Matt Jackson leads this race, Stephen Kane is in 2nd, Collard in 3rd, and Turkington in 4th. Race leader across the line. That's 24 laps completed. We're on to lap 25. There's the 2nd place car, Stephen Kane. 3rd, good battle here between Rob Collard and Colin Turkington, and then in 5th place it's Plato, 6th is Turner, then it's Matt Neal, chased by Chilton, Onslow Cole, Andrew Jordan, there's Adam Jones, then it's Gordon Shedd, dropped well back, Mike Jordan, there is Giovanardi, still with pressure on him, but in 14th place.
Yeah, none of the BMWs are going to let Plato through, and there's a big gap from Colin Turkington to just over 2 seconds back to Plato, so barring an incident in front, that's as far as Plato's going to get.
That's right, and I don't think it's going to be enough. You're on board here with Colin Turkington through the left-hander at Surtees, up into clearways. The final podium spot is what these guys are fighting over, so there's quite a bit of honour, and also important points for Turkington, because he's 4th in this race, whereas his big rival Matt Jackson is leading it, and Turkington really needs the points here. It's fairly desperate for him to try and get past Collard, and he might try it into paddock, but no, Collard defends it well. Well, this is what Plato wants to see. He'd love to see the two of them, of course, take each other off, and then that would change things in the championship.
Would certainly put it back on, and Neil has got past Turner.
Yes, he has. Matt Neal has gained that place, so he's into 6th position now, ahead of Darren Turner. But we're on the final lap here, and it's running out of time for SEAT and for Jason Plato. This is the replay of Matt Neal and Darren Turner. There was a little light contact, and Matt Neal slipped through on the inside.
Yeah, Matt Neal's favourite overtaking place.
Here we go, though. Matt Jackson is coming out of clearways for the final time. It's going to be victory for Matt Jackson, another win back-to-back. He won the wet race at Silverstone. 2nd place goes to Stephen Kane. Watch them across the line now. It's Collard 3rd. 4th place goes to Colin Turkington. 5th place goes to Jason Plato. It's not enough for Plato. Fabrizio Giovanardi is going to take the title, finishing in 14th place. 14th position for Giovanardi. First race he's not been in the points, but he's taken the title.
Well, how ironic is that? The first race he's not in the points, and it's the race he wins the championship. But that's how championships are made. He's done a brilliant job all year. Congratulations to him and the VXR team. We'll see if we can get a word with him presently. I'm sure he'll be talking to the team at the moment. But Plato, I have to say, drove absolutely valiantly in that race.
Yeah, great stuff. There's Plato. He's driven hard. He's done whatever he could. The team played it as best they could, but those non-finishes earlier in the season. Let's see if we can talk to Fabrizio. This is Ben in the commentary box. Many congratulations, Fabrizio. You are double champion. Well done.
Thank you very much indeed.
Tell us about that incident early in the race. What happened there and how damaged was the car?
I had the contact in the beginning, and I think some stone comes in the radiator, and then I had engine trouble. Anyway, I couldn't do nothing, but it's important to win.
Well, I'm sure you'll be going for it in the next race. Many congratulations.
Thank you. Well, a great race, and it was always going to be hard for Plato, especially at this track that doesn't suit his car as well. The BMW is maximising their advantage, but a valiant attempt and a worthy runner-up and a gracious runner-up, Jason Plato.
Yeah, absolutely. But I tell you what, the independence battle is certainly still on, and the battle for 3rd place in the championship between Matt Jackson and Colin Turkington. But the overall title has gone the way of Fabrizio Giovanardi. And in this 50th anniversary year, you know, he's done it. He's got the back-to-back titles. Matt Neal did it a couple of years ago, but not that many drivers, Tim, have actually done the double.
No, it's very hard to do, and especially in such a competitive environment. And celebrating 50 years of the BTCC here at Brands Hatch, where it was settled in the very first year between Tommy Sopworth and Jack Sears. No rerun necessary this year. Giovinazzi is the champion.
He is indeed, and for the Triple Eight team and for all at Vauxhall, this is a special moment. They've worked so hard, and it's been reliability that has been so crucial to this success. Scoring points in every race, bar the one he won the championship, and isn't that ironic?
It is hugely ironic, but it is a credit to VX Racing that they've built a solid, reliable and fast car that has finished every race at least, and a brilliant performance by the whole team.
No, fantastic stuff for Giovinazzi. The second title in a way, his 8th touring car title of his career. What a remarkable career this guy has had. Absolutely fantastic, and well, what can we say?
Well, I want some of that pasta. That's winning pasta, isn't it? I don't know if I've got time before my Porsche race, but congratulations to him.
Very many congratulations to Fabrizio Giovinazzi, champion of 2008.
Yes, Matt Jackson takes the victory in race 1 of BTCC Finals Day. But we have our answer. It's Fabrizio Giovinazzi, champion of 2008, back-to-back champions for the Italian from Sassuolo near Modena, a famous racing city in Italy. And we will hear from him in a few moments' time. But really, this is Guy, who's had an incredible season, to be champion once again.
Fabrizio Giovinazzi, VX Racing.
One more time.
Here comes Fabrizio Giovinazzi at the inside. What a beautiful manoeuvre. It's Fabrizio Giovinazzi who wins for Vauxhall. That was absolutely stunning. The reigning champion Fabrizio Giovinazzi is going to make it 2 out of 2 here.
Absolute class. This man's a joy to watch.
Giovinazzi is going to take the victory here.
You were on TV then.
This is great stuff. Giovinazzi's got in front. How did he do that? It's going to be Giovinazzi who takes victory here at Silverstone.
He is the Dunlop MSA's British Touring Car Champion.
Well, he's been driving the second fastest car since the middle of the summer, but Fabrizio Giovinazzi and the Vauxhall Vectra are champions once again, and we're going to be hearing from him and getting full reaction in a couple of minutes' time. Don't go away. Welcome back to Brands Hatch. Fabrizio Giovinazzi has done it. He is the 2008 IQ MSA British Touring Car Champion for the second year in succession in the Vauxhall Vectra. And he hugs all his team, Mike Nicholson, Ian Harrison and everybody there. They should be justifiably proud of themselves. This is confirmation of the result of race 1 here at Brands Hatch. A win for Matt Jackson in the BMW. Let's not forget him. A superb performance by him. Stephen Kane in the other BMW was second, with Rob Collard in a third BMW, making it a Beamer top 3 on the podium. Let's take a look at the championship. We still have 2 races to go, remember, but we do have confirmation. There are only 34 points remaining, and the simple truth is that Jason Plato has run out of points to get. There's the gap, 261 plays 223. Fabrizio Giovinazzi, champion again, as we say. Matt Jackson moves up to 3rd, Colin Turkington 4th, and Matt Neal, who had a very eventful race with the Seat, in 5th. Well, here he is, the 2008 British Touring Car Champion, and he's looking very pleased with himself. Your emotions, Fabrizio, right now?
Yeah, obviously, we've done good effort all through the year, the Vauxhall, the team, and it was a great job. I think they give me a reliable car, so it's why we finish all the races. Not just today. It's a really unusual race. It's not the best way to finish, but anyway, we won, so we can ask anything more.
You won the championship. You haven't won that many races. Have you ever won a championship by not winning so many races? Jason's won more races than you.
Yeah, it's true. In the end of the season, they came really strong, I think. He won a lot, but, you know, as I said before, I had a reliable car, and we scored all the points. We understood immediately in the beginning of the season there was more tough championship with more cars, with more strong drivers, so we had to say just keep going, take points, and when it's time to win, win, and when it's time to wait.
He's away.
Yeah, and were you ever worried in the middle of the summer from Snetterton onwards when the Seat Diesel had the fastest car, were you ever worried that maybe it wouldn't happen this year?
Yeah, I've been, honestly, I've been worried until Silverstone, because in the first race he scored the pole position, the fastest lap he won, and they finished 5, 6, so I've lost 11 points. So in that way I could come inside the Brands Hatch with really few points. So I was worried, keep concentration, try to do the maximum, and here we are.
Okay, and just very briefly, what happened? We heard you talking on the commentary link, but what happened in that moment coming down into Paddock Hill?
There was a confusion, a lot of cars fighting for the position, and the contact with the Seats, the black Seats, and I think even another car hit me in the back, so we had the contact finishing the gravel. So after that I crashed, I broken the bumpers, and my race was almost finished.
Okay, Fabrizio, many congratulations. We will let you go to the podium where your public is waiting to see you. Well, you can enjoy the Beamers on the podium, but I'm sure they'll be there to give you a special bottle of champagne anyway. I hope so. Yes, it's time for a drink, I think, for you. Thank you very much. Well done. Well, a worthy champion in Fabrizio Giovanardi, and even his rivals have only good things to say about him.
He's got a massive amount of self-belief, but he's a great team player, so you know he'll work with you, he'll try and help you as you help him, and he's got a great knack of pulling a rabbit out of a hat. You know, at any point of the race he always comes up with a good result.
He's a class act, you know, he is the benchmark at the moment, and you know, I guess he doesn't do anything drastic, you know, he's just sort of steadily quick all the time.
Oh, he is, you know, he's world class. He hasn't won the amount of championships he has without being a bit special. And you know, this year he's obviously a lot of the time he's had 45 kilos on for leading the championship, and he still pulls the time out of the bag, and you know, no, that's good. So no, he's definitely a worthy champion.
Some of the angles he can dance that car out on the way into the apex. That's for me his biggest thing. His speed from turning to apex. Absolutely sensational car control, and knows when to push, knows when to be a bit aggressive, and knows when to score the points, doesn't he?
He's sort of incredibly precise with everything in his feedback and his sort of mechanical background as well. It's been fantastic for me to learn from him and sort of pick up the things that he notes while he's out there.
Ciao Bella, Giovanardi Fabrizio, I'm the world champion, Bella.
He's a nice guy, you know, he's done a good job. He's consistent, keeps his head down, stays out of trouble pretty much most of the time, and he's a very complete driver in my eyes.
Without a doubt, he's a creme de la creme driver.
It's knowing when to back out of the situations and when not to, and how far to push. And I think you know, Fabrizio's the master at that.
He's merciless. He will just give it 120%. You're giving it 110, you'd think you're giving it death, and he'll just go and put you. He's bloody good.
If you place your car in the wrong position, he'll be up the inside. Vice versa, if he's in the wrong position, I'll go up the inside. But he's very rarely in the wrong position.
Any champion's a worthy champion. They've got more points than anybody else. So to anyone that says he's not, you know, obviously I don't think that's correct.